Let's track the numbers in the crypto space and see what's going on there. I did hear that it's a Green Friday, and that is confirmed with a 4.79% increase on the price of Bitcoin. In the last couple of hours, Bitcoin has hit $67,317.05. I hear that Mr. Trump has a hand in this. Ethereum is also up 2.69% at $3,255.05. BNB, it's just a Green Friday. Yes, we do have XRP right there and Pepe, but I mean, majority here carry the vote, I guess. Mostly green, I beg your pardon. Let's look at the headlines for this time. We heard that Mr. Donald Trump has the donation, over $4 million in cryptocurrency. That's what he has now. That's Mr. Donald Trump. Of course, we know what's going on with the politics, counting down to the election in November. That's it. And then also, Michael Saylor, the co-founder of MicroStrategy, is also adding to this. It's Bitcoin surged 4% according to news because he's an advocate of Bitcoin, recently persuaded former NBA star Pippen to invest in Bitcoin, and so it's gone up by 4%. That's another driver of the price at this time. Another headline is Binance. Binance has launched a comprehensive trading service. That's from Binance. They think they're looking for other ways, cut them in one way and then they find other ways. They introduce a multiple trading service for render, and catalyzed by recent token swap and rebranding from RNDR. Effective immediately, Render is available for trading through Binance Simple Earn, Convert, and Margin services, among others. So if that's of interest to you, you might want to follow up. But I guess the most interesting of this is with Mr. Trump. Let's find out. And he's expected to give a speech at the Bitcoin conference on Saturday in Nashville. So I wonder what he would say there. But you can trust that there'll be no boring moment. Let's talk to Olumide Adesina now to find out what he is expecting from that speech and how that might move the price of Bitcoin again. Hi, Olumide. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Great. So are you looking forward to this speech by Mr. Donald Trump on Saturday, the Bitcoin conference?
Definitely. Any candidate of the most powerful economy in the United States definitely have a role in financial markets, and that's because of the systemic play United States have. I think just like you treated the fact that he has raised more than $4 million from different crypto assets like XRP, Bitcoin. I think that has elevated interest on the space. I think where investors really look on is his core agenda. We know that he is more receiving than the incumbent party in power. But the question is he really going for the optics, or really it's just going to be a dress show? And that's pretty much because the United States has a decentralized structure in their finance industry. So pretty much the president can't really do as much as a lot of people are expecting. But, he's mentioning Bitcoin a couple of times and highlights the interest from those players, particularly the Minkolos twins. You look at the MicroStrategy founder. Key players are trying to see how they can use this to bring in high interest of voters to the Republican side. But I think with the new change, particularly in the Republican, the left side, I think it gets more tougher. But, generally, I think what the market is betting is that a win by the Republican Party definitely is net positive for Bitcoin, and a win for the Democrat definitely is a continuation of the status quo.
So you do think that cryptocurrency will be a factor in the upcoming elections in the United States?
Definitely. I think we've seen it, and we've seen the interest establishment. We've seen heavyweights in the crypto community, particularly crypto owners, exchange owners, institutional investors, capitalists taking on the Trump side. But you can't rule out the dynamic role of United States politics, especially the fact that the left has a very deep base among young voters, and with Harry on the ballot, it becomes more trickier. So I think it's too early to call who has the edge right now, but definitely it has a role to play in the crypto market.
And then we saw the equities markets in the United States responding obviously positively to macroeconomic data coming from there, as the expectation or anticipation towards interest rate cuts seems to become even more real.
Yeah, but I think, to be fair, I think crypto market has held their ground better than assets that you just mentioned, and pretty much that's because we've seen assets reallocation, we've seen concerns that risk seems to be on the extreme side, and that's why we saw at some point US tech stocks dropping more than $1 trillion in value. I think what's holding up for the crypto market is the ETFs on Bitcoin side. The inflows are still impressive. Ethereum ETF wasn't that impressive, despite the fact that we saw some approval. At some point, the bookmakers anticipated a break above the 3,500 resistance. As we speak, it's really struggling to stay above the 3,250 resistance level. So it just really highlights the fact that there is no super coin like Bitcoin, and you can't take the advantage the Pioneer crypto asset has. But I think going forward, I think just like you said, the message around interest rates will definitely play a key role. But I think it has been priced into the market because pundits expect just one risk cut, probably in September.
I thought they said September and then December.
It's unlikely we see two. Unlikely we have a two cut, and pretty much even this one still based on Fed control watch it based on 75% probability. It's still, because you need to look at the estimation. Early this year, the market said 3 rate cuts. At some point, players like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan said they're not really expecting a rate cut. And that's pretty much because of the body language of the US Fed. So while we watch what the US Fed say in a couple of days, I think it's fair for us to look deeper at the real economy. And that is the fact that inflation still remains quite a concern.
All right, so looking at this weekend now, it's going to be an exciting one, I can tell, because it's always 30 minutes of a speech from Donald Trump is certainly going to be. Well, how do you expect that? Seeing that it's a Bitcoin conference, how do you expect that to move the markets?
Yeah, the Tennessee conference will definitely have an impact on the crypto market. The crypto market doesn't go to bed. It's a 24-hour market. I think what will really make the difference is it stands on regulation. Regulation has a major role, and also on how products, particularly ETFs, will play, security, commodity, all these issues will be. But it's fair to say that most had already been priced to the market, so we don't expect a major jump, except he is sure of winning the presidential. Because if you look at the polls right now, it's becoming much more tough. I think the Democrats right now have a dog in this fight. So the market would rather wait at the later quarter. The election is running November, the first week in November 4. So I think it's too early to make a quick call on how the markets react now.
The additional financial markets analyst, thank you so much for sharing your views with us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
All right, now let's look at some other coins, perhaps, yes, and see how the price looking this afternoon. So we see, of course, Bitcoin there surging 4.79%. Expected perhaps it might surge even more after Donald Trump's speech. 30 minutes of hearing Donald Trump speak on Bitcoin. So we know it's most likely will move the market one way or the other. Ethereum also, as we already saw, is up. BNB is also up 2.39%. Cardano 4.43%. XMP, the only red, remember when we saw the chart right there. So these are the major coins and their prices at this time. It's a greedy market, but as we always say, not just because it's greed, then you have to take profit. You might have to consult and look really closely before you make a decision or make a move on that. I wonder what this will look like on Monday after this weekend and that speech. Well, time will tell. Hope to be back here on Monday. Well, thank you so much. That's where we'll draw the curtains on Business Incorporated for today and for the week. Thank you so much for being a part of it. You need to know that we do not take you for granted. We know that we really need to have you here for us to be useful on this side. So tomorrow, there'll be Capital Markets at 7 p.m. Ladi Williams will be here to give you updates or summary of the markets for the week. You can also expect to get perhaps some stocks to look out for. That might help your investment decision at this time. The banks are on a hot seat. The windfall tax on the one hand, the recap on the one hand, see what's happening to all those stocks in the banking sector. But I'm off for the weekend, gladly, but I'll see you on Monday, God's grace. I'm Ini John Mekwa. Have a great weekend.